Yeah, buddy. We're back Tuesday night, AMA and Adam. We have so damn much to talk about. How you doing, first and foremost?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I am doing good. A long day at work. Worked my ass off, but this is always the highlight of my Tuesdays, right?
Oh,
no matter what happened during the day.
Oh, yeah.
I get to spend an hour with you, chopping it up. And we get to talk to all the people who tap in. So thank you for being here to you, Adam. Thank you for being here to everybody in the chat watching. We appreciate you, but I'm doing great now, buddy. It's like the minute you hit the record button, I'm doing 10 times better.
Yes, sir. We got people in the chat early, Mike. Let's bring them in. Wyatt just says, just traded Hunt and Curtis Samuel for a mid to late 23 first and a second. Thoughts? Holy shit. See ya.
So long, Hunt and Curtis Samuel. Fucking see ya. Great deal, buddy.
Man,
great deal, Wyatt.
That's easy.
That is fucking phenomenal.
It's funny. This is, Mike, what I was talking about in the newsletter and just in general on overreactions. Like, I like seeing what I saw out of Curtis Samuel, right? Like,
I do. We've been big fans of his for a long time and just waiting.
Right.
But Jesus Christ.
I mean, and listen, like, is it possible that if he stays healthy, he has some good games? Sure. But a second, Mike, after the long time we've been stuck with our Curtis shares, he's gone.
I was listening to Ike, Gene, and Eric doing the waiver show, right? Mm-hmm. And saying, like, go pick up Curtis Samuel if he's available. Specifically, it's probably in redraft, like most deeper Dynasty leagues. I don't think he's floating around out there. But the one caveat they made was, yeah, you're going to love him right up until he gets hurt, which is inevitable.
Yeah, like every time we've ever had him.
Like, you're going to get disappointed at some point. Jesus.
I know. And then a first for Hunt? Like,
no. Stop it.
I mean, it is kind of funny how the Browns do use him on third downs and at the goal line, but just, yeah, we can. That's a great deal for you, Wyatt. Congrats, man.
He had a hell of a week, Adam, but I just know from having shares of Kareem Hunt, like, I'll start him this week and he'll do fuck all.
Yeah. In lineup, man, it's tough. Here we go. This is the thumbnail, Mike, from Wyatt. And Jay, I'm going to get to your question, too. Why take the ball out of a future Hall of Famer's hands and put it in the kicker's foot? Way to start your coaching career, Hackett. Like, Mike, talk to me, man.
Why?
Talk to the people.
What? This is your line. Why?
Dude,
what are we doing, Denver?
It's funny, man. I'm watching this game upstairs with my father-in-law, who's not super into sports, right? And he's trying to take it in. He doesn't really know what's happening, but he sees me freak out. Like, what are we doing? And he's not sure what's going on, but obviously he knows it's not good. And then they bring out the kicker. So you burn all that time. You claw the timeout. But I'm like, all right, well, you're going to get a delayed game. You're going to go for it. Like, you have to use the timeout. Terrible clock management, but you do that. So now you got a timeout to drop a play. So you're thinking, okay, they bring out the kick. What?
Why?
Mike, he has not made a field goal over 61 ever.
I don't
and the only kickers to make one over 61 are Justin Tucker in a dome and Prater at Mile High. So you're not inside. You're not at Mile High. And this guy's never made one this long. And this is like the thumbnail, right? Let's ride. The whole thing is you gave up everything to go get this guy. Like, you gave up everything you could, and it was probably worth it. And the first chance you have to let him make a play with the game on the line, you say, nah. McManus. I don't know what to say, man, other than that.
I'm thinking to myself, like, competently, when it gets to 4th and 5, we're going to call a timeout. We're going to think about what our best play is. Game's going to be on the line here. We need 5 yards. We still got a little bit of time left too. So if we do convert it, we can call another timeout here. We got 2 in our pocket. And then we'll figure if we want to try to run something to get a few more yards. Like you think you're going to get another 5 yards, right? You're looking at a 9-yard field goal if they convert that first down.
Right. Yeah, you're inside of 60.
Yeah, we're gonna run something, maybe a quick out to the get out of bounds, and then we'll kick the damn field goal. Instead, it's we're gonna take it down to 20 seconds, call a timeout, and then we're just gonna trot the kicker out there, and just because we're crazy.
I mean,
stupid.
It's literally, Mike, I think the only way I can describe it, and he'll never admit it because it'd be so bad to admit it, is like you clamped up when the moment was biggest.
Shit the bed, yes.
Like, because think about it too, right? Like, to your point, it's 4th and 5. If you're not calling a timeout and thinking, all right, if we don't get it, we have 3 timeouts, so we can get it right back to Russ. You can't hear yourself thinking there, right? It's so loud. So it's 4th down, critical play. He's using hand signals because he can't talk to anybody. This is a brand new team.
One of the things too that I thought was interesting, and maybe it's just me, but let me know if you think this is right too, Adam. I remember maybe a year in LaFleur's early years with Rodgers, and maybe it's kind of gotten corrected, but he has this fucking thing where he likes to take the play clock like right down to fucking 1 second when they're snapping the ball, and it bit him in the ass last night for Denver. I don't know if Hackett kind of took some of that shit with him, but it was biting him in the ass left and right. Like you're looking at multiple delay of games, having to waste a timeout here and there. The Javonte fumble was a clusterfuck because it should have been a delay of game, and instead they just get it off. Apparently, the refs didn't call it, but half the offensive line wasn't fucking ready.
No,
and there's a defensive lineman already in the backfield. I'm just watching it like, why are you doing the same shit? Like, you're not prepared at all. Like, you can't get these fucking play calls in. Boom, ball spotted, let's go. Play calls in, Russ, give it to him, get to the fucking line, make your checks and adjustments. And instead, like, they're breaking the huddle with 8 seconds. Russ is running up there trying to make last-minute adjustments and just getting the fucking snap off. It was a clusterfuck for Denver.
It was
the
bad.
whole thing was bad.
It really was. And then when you do that too, I think the other thing that's like, you're 100% right on all that. I agree with you. And then it's like, when you constantly are getting it close to the zero, like you're also giving them the opportunity to really jump the snap because they got to snap it. Like it just the whole thing is crazy.
There's a play clock on the other side that the defense can see all the time too. Like,
right.
As a defensive lineman, like you just kind of turn your head up. Fuck what the ball's doing. These motherfuckers are running it down, snapping it at 1 second or 0. I'll just wait to leave until I see 0.
As soon as I see that 0, and then I'm getting ready to go. And then it's like they're blitzing the whole time. The house is coming up. I don't know, man. I think the offense will be fine. There's too much talent there, but it shows, man, it doesn't always just go like it's supposed to on paper, No,
they had some really good moments too. Like it almost seemed like they could move the ball at will, then they just shoot themselves in the foot on the goal line, or they kill themselves with stupid penalties. But like actually moving the ball, completing passes, runs, like they kind of just did whatever they wanted to, which is I think what we expected. I just didn't think it would be that sloppy, like all the bullshit that went with it, and then of course the way it ended. But hey, props to Seattle too for coming out, and especially Geno Smith, like playing as well as he did. Like I gave him absolutely no chance. It's Geno Smith. It's fucking Seattle. They're going to be horrible.
Right.
That crowd was incredible the entire fucking
start
night.
To finish, man.
And the Seahawks really played up to it. I mean, they were even making some plays on defense. You had some like rookie mistakes from Woolen. If he got a little grabby there a few times, but
yeah.
For the most part, man, it just seemed like Denver was just a little bit off, and including Russ. Like he had some of his moon balls that he normally throws, and like you're talking, he's throwing 3-4 yards inside with the receivers outside. It's like Jesus. But I think they'll get their shit together. But man, you got some explaining to do. Like there's definitely going to be some players in that locker room looking at Hackett kind of sideways, like what the fuck is going on, man? You're supposed to be the dude in charge of this whole thing, and we look like a bunch of monkeys fucking footballs out here.
Yeah, and then Russ, because he just got traded to this team, he's been asking for a trade for a while. He has to go and say, I believe in Hackett. When that's being politically correct, right? You don't want to, in your first game, blame it on the coach. So
isn't it ironic? Like, two of the biggest like boneheaded calls have involved Russ.
yeah,
The Super Bowl when they took it out of Marshawn's hand and let Russ throw it, and then it gets picked off, and now it's like this one we'll be talking about forever. They take it out of Russ's hands. And, fuck it, let's kick a 1,000,000,000-yard field goal.
I mean, we've seen bad clock management and bad things down the stretch, but this feels like in your first game, like one that's just going to stick with you forever. I don't know. I don't want to keep belaboring the point, but I feel like we had to talk about it. The way that game finished,
yeah,
the clusterfuck of the fumbles, just it was, man, so much they left on the table, and they shouldn't have lost that game, but they did.
Well, fuck it, man. Let's start getting into some questions that the people have. Let's get them some answers.
Jay's got, here you go. Jay Jackson says, who are some buy low and sell high targets? Mike?
There's a lot of panic on like Najee. Like, I've had people reach out on my Najee shares, and I've been completely honest. Like, with what I know now, like I'm not moving them unless you're giving me damn near 95% of what his value was before week 1. So
yeah, I want 90% at least, probably, if he's going to play.
Like, I'm good, man. Obviously, we've talked about it before, but anybody who owns Dak Prescott, like, I'm sniffing around. I'm seeing what the panic level is. Injured players are some of the biggest cheat codes in Dynasty to purchase.
Like, Russ last year was that, right?
Yes. Yep. Same thing. We did it a couple years ago, and last year we talked about it, and I think maybe on our contenders I don't know if you had to, but, like, we were selling Cam Akers, we were selling J.K. Dobbins, we were selling Travis Etienne, and the prices that we got back, I don't know. I don't think it really helped out my teams that much in the end, Adam, where it was just like, fuck, I should have just waited a few weeks and waited until like I knew who the contenders and the rebuilders were and everything was a little bit more settled, and kind of see where my team is too, because I mean, we're talking about it, a lot of those where I sold them off right away just thinking like I need points. I didn't end up winning those leagues. Now, some of that too is just those were a lot of best ball leagues we were doing it at them, and we were bad at best ball in our first year.
Right.
we made a lot of mistakes. So I don't know how much that plays into it, but I do know that's like one of my regrets on a lot of those teams. Like, specifically, you and I made a lot of deals back and forth, contender or rebuilder, vice versa. And I don't think either one of us ended up winning the leagues on the ones we sold. And then the other guy's sitting there with the player, and you're like, this fucking player's worth more than the first that I sold for.
Yep.
Like, this guy's much better off now. So, I don't know. Those are the easy ones that like came to mind. I don't buy low. It's so hard to buy low. Like, most people don't panic too much. There are some out there who just lose their mind. I don't know if I'd be sniffing around like anybody who had 49ers and Bears players. Like, we kind of talked about that in the recap. I just throw that shit out the window, where it was like, I know it was a weather game and I'm not worried about it. Any that come to mind for you, like right offhand?
I mean, so buy low specifically, Mike's kind of right. Like, you're not going to buy typically top 4 round startup pick guys off of one bad week. It's just not going to happen. I guess Dak Prescott would be the only one that fits that bill because of injury, possibly. I would say, though, like when you get a little deeper, like Mike's right with the 49ers, I think Ayuk is one. Like any pass catchers, truly, but I think Ayuk, if you didn't get a great start from him, and then someone sees that Lance's stats looked horrible and doesn't really understand how that game is meaningless from the passing standpoint, like, I think he's a perfect buy low, personally, for me.
What about the guy jersey that you're wearing right now?
I was gonna say, I think it depends on how much you're willing to. It's funny how it finally came. I've had this on order, and it finally comes like in the moment of, man, we're at an all-time low, buddy, and we're out here. I got to rock it,
It shows up, and you're like, I didn't even want this anymore.
you had to almost do me dirty like that. Like, you finally let it come through a month later after I saw the worst start I could have had hope for the kid. He's a buy low for me, but I think it depends on like your level of comfortability. Like, I personally don't think, like, if you can get Cam Akers for a second round pick, or a guy in
Full
that
send.
type value, I'm gonna do it every time.
Full send for me too.
I think the talent's too good, and Mike, I mean, it's obviously worrisome, but I think his comments to me actually bring a little light to it, and like, I think if you're good enough, if you're in the doghouse verbally, typically that means that you're good enough talent-wise that they're putting you in the doghouse because they're trying to get something different out of you. Like, I don't know
Yes.
if it's because, Mike, this offensive line's so bad that you need a guy that can really pick up in pass pro. Like, this is the one thing that I've been thinking about recently with him. If he's not a great pass blocker or he's not willing to be one, that offensive line is as bad as I've seen. And there's been some bad ones. So you got to be ready to pick up blocks. Otherwise, Stafford's going to get crushed. I saw a tweet of a video. I forget the big dude on the Bills, defensive tackle's name. He's over 300 pounds.
Phillips?
Yeah, I think that's it. Jordan Phillips. He's coming full head of steam. Now, Akers.
I may or may not have a waiver claim in for him on all 22.
I like it.
May or may not.
May or may not. We won't discuss for sure. But he's got a clear shot coming in, and Akers is going to have to step over late. And you're not going to stop him, but you're hopefully just going to get enough in the way that he's not killing your quarterback. Mikey pulled up, and the dude lands on Matt Stafford. 300 pounds just collapses on your quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I don't doubt the talent. Now, is he healthy? I'm not 100% sure. People are like he was running mud. You saw him get 3 touches, and he's getting hit right away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm buying that just yet, but
he looked okay on that one where Stafford threw it behind him.
I mean, he threw it
12 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then got back to gained a yard or 0 yards or whatever the fuck happened.
Now, the crazy part, Mike, is one, Matthew Stafford's lateraling the ball technically there.
Yeah.
Way behind the scrimmage. And then Akers ends up getting a carry because it's not a pass technically. And he gets it back to the line of scrimmage. But I think it's a buy low just on talent, and what you're going to spend right now is, I think, negligible if he's actually a 0. So I think he's a buy low, but it's comfortability level on him, honestly.
Yeah, I like it. I'm with you. What we got next?
All right, let's talk about some things here. We got probably a whole bunch. What's up, everybody? Downtier King. All right, Mike, you got a question directed at you, buddy. Downtier King, would you trade CMC for ETN in a 23 first and 12-team Superflex tight end premium league? Mike, it's another one to discuss, the Akers ETN stuff, right?
I don't know, man. The shit I saw out of Travis Etienne was not promising. I don't want to panic. I definitely don't want to panic. I still believe in the guy and the talent, but J-Rob got a fuck ton of work that I didn't think he was going to get this early, and he looked good with the work that he got. Like the Achilles was fucking nothing. And some of the work that ETN was getting, like, he had some brutal drops, like some absolutely brutal drops. And I don't like to overreact to drops, but man, when you're wide open for walk-in touchdowns and it just fucking stone-handed, he looked like Ben Skoranek trying to catch passes, right? Stone hands Ben. Man, I think, like, realistically, even if ETN hits, we're looking at a hell of a split, and CMC still CMC. Now, I don't think CMC is to the level that, you know, everybody was like, well, in 2019 he did that. That was 2019, motherfuckers. Stop it. Okay. Much different year, much different offense, much different players around him. He's like 7 injuries removed from that season. Just hit the fucking brakes here. All those people who are like, CMC still RB1, calm the fuck down. Okay. That being said, though, man, I'd still almost just rather have CMC over ETN and the 23 first. Now, this would come down to team build. Like, if I'm competing, CMC side, that's where I'm coming from. If I'm any type of a rebuild or looking to the future, like, hey, I'm not really competing, but like next year's going to be my year. Fuck yeah, take the ETN and the 23 first and just move on with your life.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. I think from a value standpoint, it's good. If you're truly contending and a strong contender, I don't know how healthy CMC will stay, so I get wanting to de-risk it. Mike, I think the problem, and this is kind of what I was saying. Listen, I've missed on some stuff. I mean, everyone, if I did a solo video on you, first week looked bad. Let's just call it what it was. But my part of my panic with ETN, or not panic, I would say that the value is getting too high. And the startup is like, we're assuming stuff and we haven't seen him play, right? So to your point, like, I think the talent's still there. I'm not worried about him long term necessarily. But one, James Robinson's back quicker than expected. He looked good. I think ultimately all along, James Robinson was never a bad running back. The Achilles, you're thinking he's probably toast. He came back, he looked good. And a new coaching staff, new regime, Mike, is saying he's the starter. That is a little worrisome coming off the Achilles.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm fine with ETN, but I don't know that we're ever going to see this workhorse ETN that kind of we're hoping. So, like, it's good value, but like if you're really strongly contending, I might see if I can get a different type of deal. Value-wise, it makes sense though.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Let's get to some more, man. So, here we go. It's a good question. Speaking of making solo videos, a guy that what time does the Smitty support group meet at, Mike? I think right now. Cheers to y'all.
Yeah, we're meeting right now.
We're recovering. Mike, where's your panic on him? Where are you at?
Unfortunately, I have a couple leagues too where like I just did a preliminary lineup set before we got on, and I'm like, fuck it, I got to go back again. Like, I need 2 weeks in a row, but man, if it doesn't happen this week and I don't see something like, 5 catches, 60 yards, like I don't even need a touchdown. I just need to see involvement. Oh man, I'm gonna really start to panic. I don't want to get there yet. It's week 1. Maybe they're just getting AJ Brown acclimated, but Jesus, it didn't seem like Jalen Hurts had eyes for anybody but AJ Brown.
Yeah, man. He you know
rough.
what? Jalen Hurts has eyes for AJ Brown, like I got from McNutted, the big, the blue eyes that he has. So, yeah. I wouldn't over panic. Like if you can buy him cheap, honestly, I think I would. But like, I think you have to be realistic that his target volume is going to come down pretty significantly. I do think though that as teams adjust to AJ Brown being this huge alpha that he showed that he can be, I think Devontae Smith may not have the greatest, safest floor with the targets, but I think like pop plays are very likely. Like secondary coverage, not focused on him, and then he's got the number 2 corner. He's got speed. I mean, I think you could see some really big plays from him in low volume, but he's probably going to be volatile all season.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a little jersey love from Perpetual Energy. Mike said, I'm sorry, not Mike. What am I doing? T-Rock says, Adam with the Topo. Who is this new man? Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of Topos, a whole bunch of packs of Topos thinking they're going to be a hit at the Expo, and I got about 4 of them. So we're going to run through these, man. They can't go to waste, All right,
You're doing Ray proud. You're doing Ray proud, buddy.
I actually, I'm coming around on the Topos. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm trying to convince the Dak owner to give me a 23 first for Mariota and 2 late seconds. He said no because he doesn't want to give me another first. I hate when people think like that. Mike, where are you at?
Well, the 2 late seconds that you're asking for are just insult to injury. Like you're just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Come on, Tick Bryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reality is like, I actually have a team, Mike, where Dak I have 2 teams where he went down. One, what's funny is one was already a failed contender that I almost won with. I'm down my 23 first. I'm in this purgatory situation where I have to try to mildly compete because I don't have my own 23, but I'm like building for the future already. Like Dak being healthy, like it might have a chance to mess around and make the playoffs, and you never know. But realistically, it's not an elite contender. Dak goes down. Now that team is like, okay, it's just sell it. I'm not going to get my 23 first back. It's screwed, right? Then I have a contender where Dak going down leaves me with Matthew Stafford and dog shit at quarterback. Like I have fill-ins, but no one real. But like on that team, even though I'm not going to go pay a first for Mariota, right? I'm not going to do that. Like if I'm going to spend a first in value, I'm going to shoot higher. So I think you probably, to Mike's point, Tick Bryan, you got to get more creative with giving him an asset back in the mix that makes him think he's not just getting played. Like Mike said, the 2 late seconds are adding. Give him a fluff piece that might make a lineup or might think he makes a lineup. Like you got to package your way to that first, I think.
Like if it's one of these guys too that had a really good week 1 that probably ain't worth shit. Like if you got an OJ Howard on your bench, like here you go, buddy. You take Mariota and OJ Howard for a first.
Like if I even had a Curtis Samuel on the team, like here you go, Mariota, Curtis Samuel, give me the first, boom, something like that.
That would be even better than OJ Howard. I'm sure people like him a little bit more, or maybe one of these guys that we think is going to do something TDP, right?
Man, we're way behind, but I have so many of these questions, and there's good ones. Let's try our best to answer, but fly through, Mike, because we got some good ones. I got you. All right, so here we go. This is a great question, man. And I think this is a discussion-worthy topic, but let's try to be quick and to the point. What are we doing with CD in a dynasty? If you get a 23 first, do you just take it no matter where it is?
No.
Yeah. The answer to the second question is no. The answer to the first question is polarizing, though, Mike, because here's, I think, the reality. Like, it depends how much Dak misses, and then when he comes back, that offensive line is not good. And if they rush him back, how good is he going to be? We saw how Russell was down the stretch last year. If it's 3 years of this potential, like if we've seen 3 years and we're still talking about in year 4, like he's just the potential, the situation, the talent, like how much weight does that really hold though?
Jerry Jones is out there talking trash about him right after the game too. Like he's got to earn being an alpha and whatever the fuck else he said. Like
after you just traded Amari for a 5th, dummy.
I don't get it. I would say, like, if I can get anywhere in, like, top 10 wide receiver value in return, right? Just kind of think about that. If I can get anywhere in, like, the 3rd, 4th round startup or better and, like, maybe just throw in some pieces, I'm comfortable moving them. I'd be comfortable going to, like, Drake London in a couple seconds. Man, I still want to see it from Ayuk. Like, we didn't get to take our victory laps because of, like, sloppy conditions. But, like, Ayuk in a first, would you do that, Adam?
Yeah, if you added Ayuk to any 23 first or late 23 first, yes. I think perpetual energy, like, I understand the concept, but if it's a late 23 first, so now you're talking about a rookie receiver probably in that back half that's a good prospect, maybe not a great one. So, like, the prospect's better with CeeDee Lamb. He probably on a contender's better for competing next year, even though there's this shiny new toy feeling on the late 23 first. Like, I think that's too light in my opinion, even for the situation.
Yeah. I'm going to knock him because of this whole, like, what you said, like, we haven't seen it. We just keep waiting. We keep waiting. But I'm not knocking him into, like, the depths, right? I'm not going full on panic mode, but I move him down definitely from, like, wide receiver 3 in Dynasty. Like, he's going to be somewhere in that, like, 7 to 10 range. He's going to be in there with all the old guys that were like, ugh. But he's going to be there with Kupp. He's going to be there with Diggs. He's going to be there with Adams. And those guys will probably be ranked above him. Not going to lie.
I mean, the problem is, to summarize real quick, is he's not going to give you the contending value because of the situation. And he's also now, like, you're going to keep him high because of the dynasty value. But it's like, how long do we hold him here to when we don't see it? Like, it's one of those, and he's going to be bleeding value all year, Mike, because everyone's going to see people that are scoring for them.
Here's a good one that you might be able to sell on name. Sell CD for DJ Moore and see if you can get any kind of plus on top.
There you go.
That's what I do.
A lot of people giving us some love. You guys are the fucking shit. Love that I got an excuse to rip the McAllen on a Tuesday. Cheers to you, Joey Cheese Sticks.
Appreciate you, Joey.
I got some Basil Hayden's going on right now. Start 10, Superflex lineup. Henderson value. I don't need him, but other contenders do. So you have Henderson, you're trying to sell and start 10. Lineup, Superflex. Mike?
Second? I just don't want, like, a late second, though. Like, I think you can squeeze more.
You know what's funny, too?
2 seconds? Like, you go 23 and 24?
Yeah. It's funny, man, because I have so much acres, and I'm wearing the jersey, so let me tell you what I'm getting lately is the what I love, right? The people that come to me with Henderson, like, hey, you got acres, I assume you want Henderson. You'd be mistaken. I don't want Henderson. And then on the flip side, it's like, Akers is terrible. Now I'm going to buy him from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On top of the fact that I'm bleeding from my soul because of what I saw, I'm getting the worst of both worlds right now from the offers. You know, it's like I don't know. What I'm taking is probably, if I have Henderson, I'd flip for 2 seconds, like Mike said. I would probably though, like if I could, try to get someone that needs running back depth because it's just always there, and see if I can get like a receiver that's a real player, like a top 9, 8 startup pick. Like I would flip for Ayuk in a heartbeat right now.
If he's not in my plans too, might be where on a contender I go out to 2025 and try to get your first.
That's true too.
Hey buddy, it's fucking 3 years out. Don't even worry about it. Just give me that 2025 first.
I'm going to take your 25 first, which is over 1,000 days away. And here's your starting running back for the Los Angeles Rams.
You have fucking fun, and I'm banking on 2025. You're going to regret this vastly.
I think there's 3 options there, Joey. Try for a receiver of real value, try for 2 seconds, and if not, go for a first way out thinking that guy's not going to need that pick. Here we go. All right, so, well, we kind of answered this question, but let's talk about it. We should never panic after one game, but who are you a little freaked out with by their shitty week 1 performance?
There's a lot.
We already talked about Slim Reaper. I wouldn't use the word panic, but I'm concerned.
Even like some guys that I think we think are hits, like I've kind of seen the snap shares and route run percentage and all that stuff for Rashad Bateman.
I was just, that's funny you're saying that. I was literally thinking like Rashad Bateman is a 55-yard got past the defense touchdown away from Smith conversation. Honestly.
Yeah. Terry McLaurin, again, like kind of got bailed out where we were like, I mean, Wentz looked good, but we kind of heard about the Jahan Dotson, and we're Jahan Dotson guys, and I'm glad McLaurin got the bag there. But fuck, man, I thought McLaurin was going to be a lot more involved, and maybe it was just coverage and the way the defense was playing them too. But these are the kind of guys where like I expected big things, and the box score, the fantasy points at the end of the week, you're like, cool. But there are some like concerning things involved in there where you're like, shit, they weren't as involved as I thought they were going to be. They kind of got bailed out by a long play or a long touchdown, whatever it may be. Those are the kind of things that I don't want to bank on, right? Like, especially for wide receivers or running backs, like I'm looking at usage. Just like, how much are you fucking getting involved? How much are you getting targeted? How much are they game planning to get you the football? Some of these guys, I do got a little bit of concern, but again, to Castle Black's first point, like it is week 1. We've seen stupid shit happen in week 1 all the time. You talked about it in the newsletter. Don't panic, but let's just say that like my spidey senses are going off, right? They're like, okay, I need to pay attention to this.
Yeah, for sure. I forget who asked the last question, but here's a good one. Sold Henderson for Christian Kirk and Jarvis Landry. Now this is redraft, so T-Rock, why are you giving us redraft? I also got Kadarius for a late second in Dynasty. I like that one. There's another good. Here's another. That's a good one for scared though. Mike, I like the talent. Like when he got the ball, I think he's still shifty enough. But God, if they're gonna use him in that type of a role on an offense that's not good, I'm concerned about how they're using Kadarius Toney as another answer. So.
One of the things I said with Antonio Gibson is like there becomes a point where it doesn't matter how much you want to try to punish the player or they're in their doghouse, the best fucking players will play. And I don't think watching the New York Giants, like they won and they were fine, but I don't think watching the New York Giants, you can't say that Kadarius Toney isn't one of their best fucking offensive weapons. So at some point, the bullshit's going to have to go aside and Kadarius Toney's going to get on the fucking field and he's going to produce because Kenny Galladay ain't it. He didn't look good. And what the fuck is this Richie James bullshit? Why?
That's what I was going to say, man. Like, I don't know. Coaches amaze me sometimes, man. I don't want to get back on the Hackett thing, but it's like,
yeah,
what do we do? Like, why? Richie James? Yeah. Let's get back to questions. Which side in best ball? Eckler, Waller, 23 second, or Aaron Jones, Devontae, Knox, 23 first? Spicy. Mike. Best ball.
The Aaron Jones thing is concerning, but again, he's another one like into my watch list. Like
can we talk about Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon then if we're going to do that? Because you know what's funny is the touches were way heavily weighted in Dillon, but the snap share, Aaron Jones saw the field more than AJ Dillon did.
Interesting.
Did you know that?
Interesting. No, I did not.
Aaron Jones saw the field 61%. 61% of snaps, where A.J. Dillon was
Okay.
more around 50. So I'll say this. I think they plan to utilize A.J. Dillon. I'm not going to say, like, Aaron Jones is fine. Like, I think Aaron Jones obviously is not going to be the clear one back, and A.J. Dillon's a sparing guy that they use here and there. But I think it might have just worked out to where it looks really bad for Aaron Jones, but the way the game went and they're trailing and all that, like when he was on the field for whatever reason, Rodgers was going somewhere else. I don't think that the touch count is going to be consistent with how he's utilized down the stretch for their whole rest of their season.
All right, so I'm going to look at this deal in best ball specifically. Like, I'm not a big Dawson Knox fan, and I started him in a couple lineups, and he fucking shit the bed and didn't do fuck all, and it was the Gabe Davis show. But in a best ball, like, he's going to have his weeks. Like, they paid him money. He's going to have his fucking weeks. So if I look at it as, like, Eckler for Aaron Jones and Knox, let's say, well, okay, Aaron Jones and Knox, like, in a best ball. Just going to say it. Waller in a second for Devontae in a first. Now, this is going to come down to how you feel on Devontae. Like, if you're still super high on Devontae, you're going to take that side. Fuck, man. One of the big takeaways I had from this week is people forgot how good Darren Waller is. Like, that ability he has. I know Carr, like, hyper-targeted fucking Devontae Adams, but who was the next guy? It was Darren Waller.
I think it's funny because that was Waller until Adams came over. And I think that those two are going to be just the guys that get fed. And I think Waller's target share continues to go up.
Fuck, man. I almost want to take the Aaron Jones, Devontae, Knox in the first, and I'll figure out the first thing. Even though how much I love Waller, I think Eckler's phenomenal. The second's like a little nice piece in there. But give me the 4 pieces in a best ball, Adam. Like, I'm a little more comfortable there, and then let me go see what else I can get with the 23 first.
Marlon, this is perfect for me. 1, best ball. The only way I'm taking the Eckler-Waller side is in lineup. And I'll tell you why I love this question and where we're at here. Literally, that other side is the panic in a first side. I mean, panic Aaron Jones, panic Devontae Smith, panic Dawson Knox. Okay, I'll take him in best ball. I don't have to fucking put him on. I don't have to press a button. And then the 23 first is what's so nice about that is, like, now you're fluid. Like, I can use that piece with in my own first if I have it. Like, you can use that to go buy up a player later. I think it's great value you're getting, Marlon, if you take the Aaron Jones, Devontae Knox 23 first side. And if you're thinking about selling that, don't do the panic week 1 thing, please.
Hell yeah, Marlon. Hell yeah, and go Birds. Go
there
Birds.
You go. Go Birds. I'm trying not. I don't want to skip over. Castle Black does say you'll be loving the Browns 50-yard logo. I voted for it. Damn right. Okay. What would you need to move on top of Henry to move off of CMC? 1 quarterback, half PPR.
Half PPR especially? Give me a second. Second one, QB? Or give me like a second worth type like player?
Yeah, I think
Start
I need
9.
I think I need more of like that, like Mike said, the second player in Superflex. So like you gave me a player in that 9th, 10th range when we think about Superflex guys. I mean, Ayuk is easy for me, but guys later, if someone's panic on a Smith, like I think someone in that type of range, if you get it, is a smash, easy smash. If you can't get that high, I don't know, maybe a Dotson. Hell, if you could get Pickens because someone's freaking out because it's terrible week 1, something like that.
I like it. Henry, he was kind of interesting when I was watching to see like how he looked. I thought he looked fine. We really didn't get to see any big explosive plays, so I don't know how much that has to do with the injury. Like, I'm gonna need to see a couple weeks so I kind of know, like, to see if he can actually still break him off or if he's just gonna be this plotter. But he didn't look horrible, right? He looked better than he did in the playoff game last year, coming right off the injury. So I'm not like too worried about Derrick Henry. Maybe he even moves up a little bit. Like, some of my injury concerns were put to bed. Not all of them, but some of them. Yeah, I just need a little bit extra, like a little bit extra in a half PPR. In a full PPR, I need a lot more.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Dynasty Alex, how about Judy for CD straight up? No.
How about no?
Yeah, no.
Are you buying into the Jerry Judy shit?
Nah. I mean, listen, he looks spry. I'm not saying Judy's horrible, but I still think like it was a long touchdown that saved his day. He was solid, but
he was okay.
CD Lamb? No.
No, I'm good, man.
I personally would not do this. Like if you're really thin at receiver and like you need production now and you're worried about CD, I would hope you can get different than Judy personally. So my personal opinion.
I mean, Judy he had one really bad drop. Really bad.
Here we go. Trying to parlay Judy's boom game. Oh my gosh, yes. If you could sell him for CD, please.
Judy, fuck yeah, I'll take CD Lamb.
Sorry, Dynasty Alex. We're out here thinking you're trying to go the other way. Yeah, yes.
Alex,
do that.
Alex is no dummy. We're the dummies.
Yeah.
Alex is out here.
I'm drinking Topo and telling people no. Yeah. Do that today. What about
Judy
CD versus Tyreek, Mike?
Judy and Sutton both ended up with the same amount of targets.
Yeah.
Right? 7 to 7. And Sutton, I think, had more like deep shots. Like they didn't connect, and Russ fucked him up most of the time, but he was going to him deep. Trading CD for Tyreek. Oh, I think Tyreek is still just a little bit outside of that range where like I would have Jerry Jeudy ranked. But if you can get anything on top, like I'm cool. Put him in that DJ Moore like tier and sell it. Like so what do we got in that? We got Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Waddle, and Tyreek.
Correct.
I'll just make up that next tier outside the top 10.
That's the tier 4, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sell CD for one of those guys and a second.
Easy. I think that's the thing I would be trying. I think I need to get a plus. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to do straight up. I'm curious. I'm very curious on the trade show. If you're listening to this too and you submit trades for the trade show, CD Lamb trades are something I would love to see all year. Just kind of like what the market's doing with him. So
I think there'll be enough excuses built in because it's CD fucking Lamb and no Dak Prescott that people will give him another year, right? But
that's the thing. It's like I know that's going to happen for the market, but it's like, man, we're going into year 4 and the production hasn't been there. Like that worries me. But yeah, I'm with you. There's a built-in excuse. Okay, temperature check on David Montgomery. I know it was a sloppy game, but Khalil was pretty involved. Well, not just Khalil was pretty involved. He was more efficient with every touch he got. Mike?
That's a fucking understatement. David Montgomery did fuck all. Did fuck all. He looked horrible. Horrible.
I don't know what to really make of it because the game, I just feel like as a whole, like I'm almost giving everyone that played in this game a pass.
Yeah.
But this is a question that is fair. Like,
hey, I mean, let's be honest though. Monty got 20 touches. Herbert was involved, but he didn't get 20 touches. He got 10, right? Mm-hmm. So Monty's doubling them up. The conditions were fucking horrible, so I don't want to put too much into it. The inefficiency to offensive line, the whole fucking thing. Like, I'm kind of just throwing the game away, but let's be honest. He didn't look great, right? When you average 1.5 yards a carry, it's kind of woof. And then you got Herbert out there averaging 5 yards a carry, albeit on half the touches. But I want to see in week 2. Man, if somebody's still giving you like what happened Monty prices, I'm cool like just cashing out. Like I'll go pivot to something else. I mean, we heard all the bullshit about Leonard Fournette, and these guys are like going in around the same range, and I don't think it's a fucking question who I'd rather have on my team. Like Lenny looked fucking good. So all them jokes about him being fat and left tackle Lenny and all the bullshit, put that stuff aside. Like he's knocking Micah Parsons out and then trolling his ass on Twitter. Like a fucking boss.
He was full Uncle Lenny on the play and the tweet. Oh my goodness. I mean, I
love Lenny.
I do. He looked really good, and I think the offense and they're going to be just fine. I think Lenny's fine. Perfect. Stop tripping. Yep. Where was the question I wanted to get to? Oh, here we go. I have Michael Thomas, Juju, Nico Collins, and Isaiah McKenzie at wide receiver. Should I trade McLaurin to get Kittle at tight end? Njoku's my only tight end.
Oh, fucking Njoku. That's a guy I'm ready to write off. Like, I don't want to overreact week 1, but we need to stop with this shit. Like, he has become the Chris Herndon of tight ends where it's just like it's probably never happening for this dude.
I'll be honest. I think right now with him, like every game with Brissett, I just don't think there's upside. The problem is, like, Mike, you're probably correct. Like, we're probably foolish to think it's gonna just happen. Like, if I'm gonna move on from him, like, I don't want to just dump him cheap, because I do want to see, like, if Watson can possibly unlock him. That's the only prayer. But at the same time, if I can get value out of him, like, I'd probably do it, just because. Gosh, man, because if it doesn't happen, you're at zero. Like, you're at absolute zero. You're at waiver wire zero.
Yeah, yeah. I would say no, though. I'm not sending McLaurin for Kittle.
Kittle's injuries are. I'm getting worried, man.
I mean, that's going to leave you with Thomas and Juju as your wide receiver 1 and 2. Perfectly fine. I like both those guys, but your wide receiver 3 now sucks. It's Nico Collins, or I say McKenzie. Nah, I'm good. I think what I do is I take any draft capital that I have and I go see what the cost is on some of these shittier ones. Like, Tyler Higbee got involved. Hayden Hurst got heavily fucking involved, especially when Higgins out. Like, these guys that people just kind of cast off to the side, they don't really want anything to do with. And I go see what it takes to acquire some of them. The guy with Cole Kmet, I bet is shitting his pants at this point. I go see what the price check is on Cole Kmet. Like, I'm going to shop at the discount tight end store. I mean, I've already made my bet. I'm not giving up Terry McLaurin for George Kittle right now.
Real quick before we touch other questions, one we didn't touch on panic, and I'm not at panic level, but concern, Mike, because we got a concern question we're going to next. Kyle Pitts.
None.
Okay.
None.
And no concern at just the offense as a whole, though.
I need to see some more. Not even the offense as a whole. Like, I think he's going to have his moments, but we knew this shit going in at him. We knew Marcus Mariota probably wasn't going to be the greatest for Kyle Pitts.
Right.
We knew that.
Yep.
But that's not why I'm, like, buying Kyle Pitts. I didn't think, like, Kyle Pitts was going to finish as the overall tight end 1. Like, that's fucking Travis Kelce's territory. That's probably Mark Andrews' territory. But I'm buying Kyle Pitts because he's 21. He produced. He has elite talent. We've seen it on the field, and I'm looking forward towards next year when he gets a real fucking quarterback. So
fully agree with that. I'm 100% in still on Pitts. I think, though, if you assumed consistent contending value out of him, I'm not saying sell cheap. I'm not saying move him. I'm just saying, to Mike's point about bargain bin shopping, like, you may want to think about a floor guy for the intermediary. Like,
I also, too, like, this is one where, like, advanced analytics and, like, play tracking and all that, I want to know who the fuck was covering Kyle Pitts, because I pulled up Player Profiler on Drake London. I saw a little bit about giving him props, and I was shocked to see that the primary corner on Drake London for the entire game was Bradley fucking Roby and not Marshawn Lattimore, which means, was Marshawn on Kyle Pitts? And is that why he was on clamps?
I saw some of the game. I did see Lattimore on him a few times. I don't know if it was primarily on him.
Okay.
I did notice, though, Mike, it seemed like every time Mariota threw it to him, it was either not a great throw or just not Lattimore. Like, a lot of people condensed on Pitts. Like, Patterson, London, someone else is going to do it. We're not letting London or Pitts just get away with getting to beat us. So, I just wanted to touch on that briefly. I wouldn't panic. I just think, like, I think you're gonna have low floor weeks sometimes from Pitts even. So. Indy's Finest says, any concern on Kamara? Switching gears to the same concern,
first
but
half,
different player.
Not going to lie. In the first half, they had us. Not going to lie. In the first half. So in the first half, I'm shitting the bed on fucking Saints, right? The offense didn't look good. Kamara didn't look good. Winston didn't look good. Second half, they came out and said, fuck that. And then they remembered Michael Thomas is good at football. They do have wide receivers, not like they did last year. So when Kamara's back and healthy, I don't really know what the hell he's dealing with, why he missed time in the game, like what he went out for. But when he's back and healthy, as long as the Saints remember that Michael Thomas is good at fucking football and they can actually throw the ball and back defenses up a little bit, I have no concern on Kamara. If the first half had continued the way it had, and then, like, MT's just not there, they're not getting him the ball, Winston still looks like ass, yes, I was about ready to start panicking and shit in the bed on all the Alvin Kamara that I was hyping up for just this year, because next year he's probably getting suspended for a few games.
Yeah, I mean, any concern, like, I would say a little. Like, I don't know how consistent this offense is going to be, but I'm not like overly concerned. Like I wouldn't. It's 1 week. He's still hella involved. I think the offense is not going to be great, but it's going to be good enough. Like I think Kamara's going to be just fine. Probably a back end RB1 type. Like don't sweat it on Kamara. And if someone is, I think if you're a contender, I'd be buying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think once he went out too, we saw a lot more usage from Taysom Hill. So if you're big on Taysom Hill, unless that's a best ball league, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop
yeah.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? We got a whole bunch of comments. Here we go. This week, premium RB matchups: Swift versus Gibson and CMC versus Barkley. Mike, I'll tell you one thing, man. I pull up 3 TVs and have the Sunday ticket on. Those 2 games might not switch very often. Like I'll change on commercials, but I'm gonna be on damn watching these offenses.
You'll never get me off of hashtag Red Zone Gang. That's my thing. Like I can't quit Scott Hansen. It's my guy.
I love it.
I got to be there every Sunday with him. So, definitely when Swift and Gibson and CMC and Barkley are all scoring shit tons of points, breaking off long runs and scoring touchdowns, I'll be there to see them all live on Red Zone. Let's go. I ain't missing it.
Yeah, you know what? This is one to talk about. Now, we talked about Kareem Hunt. This Dynasty Alex talks about, I think this is something that, Mike, you and I have had conversations about within Heisman and lots of places. Here's what I'll say. I had this conversation with people at work. I don't understand the red zone thing. It became something that was very real last year, and it's clear this year. Like, the red zone work and the third down work is going to Kareem Hunt. Now, from a fantasy perspective, those are a lot of times the touches you want. The thing is, Nick Chubb is, I mean, Mike, he's in the conversation yards per carry with that much of a sample size with the best ever. 5.3. Yes. Like, he, between the tackles, is arguably one of the best runners we've seen. Period.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to get the valuable touches, like, think about how good he played in real football. And think about how little he was a winner for a team week 1.
I get it.
I mean, I don't know what to do with Nick Chubb because this is the thing. You can't sell him low. I'm not saying get rid of him. He's good enough he could break one of these for a touchdown, but like I don't think he has this upside. I don't
get it either. One thing it'd be interesting to see, like, our team's gonna, I mean, Jacoby Brissett was fine, but our team's just gonna be like, we're not letting the run game beat us. Like, they play the Jets too this week, which much better run defense, I think, than Carolina. So I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out. But I mean, Jacoby Brissett got away with, throwing for sub 200 yards and not really having to do fuck all. Just don't turn the football over and you'll be fine. So
right.
Interesting to see. But I don't know, man. Stefanski sometimes, like, it just doesn't seem like it fucking matters. Like, you can try to game plan and take the run away. It doesn't matter. We're just so fucking good that we're going to run it anyways.
Yeah, I mean.
Kiss our ass.
Yeah,
you got to stop us, not the other way around.
They're going to play that style of football. Like, until Watson's back, it is going to be ugly. It's going to be run. Brissett, like, say what you want about him. I don't think he's that great either, but he's what he wants. The game manager, low risk, not going to turn it over. This is what we're going to do. We're going to try to be in the mix, and then when Watson comes back, it's going to be a totally different story. But for now and for the majority of fantasy, like, I don't know what to do with Nick Chubb, man. I don't know what to say. Go ahead.
Maybe he ends up being a buy for us, right?
I think, if anything, it's going to have to be. But, like, I feel like you're going to see a lot of these games where I'm excited as hell as a Browns fan, but then you look at the end, it's like, man, he played really well, but didn't do shit in fantasy,
Son of a bitch.
It's funny, Dynasty FF, we touched on this. I don't know if this was before or after we went there, how long we given Pitts a pass. We kind of touched on it. I brought it up just so that I wanted to let you know we did hit it.
Through about week 9 of 2023.
I like that. T-Rock says Kamara has a rib injury. Do you know about this? I don't know anything about this.
I had no idea what the fuck he went out with. I just saw Alvin Kamara left the game and did not return. So I didn't know what the hell he's dealing with.
I don't know what the level of the injury is too. If it's serious, I think we're having a different conversation. I'm right now operating on that it's mild, but maybe I'm wrong.
If he's got a rib injury, maybe he knows what that guy that he knocked out in Las Vegas feels like a little bit now. Maybe
Yep.
kicking him while he's down.
Here we go. First of all, Mr. B, yes. Let me just answer the first question immediately. Yes. Like any window, first of all, I think in most leagues there's not a window. I have a couple shares of him, and I can tell you right now, there's not a window. Like it's in best ball at least, so I'll just say whatever. Like I'll just have to hold him. Especially year one rebuild. Like to answer your second question, no. Like I do not think he's going to be a consistent RB1 at all.
I'm good.
Mike, what are we selling for?
After week 1, I think I'm gonna start asking it 2 seconds and see what people say.
Yeah, I think the first is just you need a fish for a first. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you need a dummy. But I mean, if you know your league, you know who the dummies are. The ones who overreact. Float that out there.
I mean, I'm not mad at you for trying, but I think Mike's probably right.
Or do that nice like CH in a second or CH in a third for your first.
Yeah. Try to package up
that other one in. Oh, fuck, here you go.
Now, Mike, I'll say this though. I think 2 firsts is right. I think if I'm selling, like if I can sell for a realistic two firsts in value or 2 seconds of value, yeah. I think Mike in best ball, different conversation lineup. In best ball, I don't think I'd sell for a second just because the off chances of him still having decent weeks, like I'd rather have that than a random second. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I'd rather just have it
than
a random. Yeah,
I hate to say it because I don't want him on my teams, but I think that's where I'm just going to say in best ball, no, I'm good.
Man, I don't know if he ends up being like this kind of spot play. I don't know how consistent the volume's going to be, but like at that price tag, I'm just looking for dudes who I might have to plug in a flex or might have to plug in my RB2 for buys or injuries or whatever. So yeah, I'm with you.
There is that rib injury. It's being talked about in the chat. I don't see. I'll have to dig into more of that. I don't actually know much about the rib injury for Kamara. Sorry, I hadn't seen that or knowing much about it. So
this is what I have Jeff Mueller for Destination Devi and his injury pod and the shit he puts in the newsletter. So for those of you who are tapped into our stuff, go check out Destination Devi and everything that's going on there. But I'm pretty sure over there, Adam, with all the people that we've brought on, all the people that are part of it, and all the people putting out dope content, I think we got everything covered no matter what you want. You want to do some betting? They got you covered. You need injury advice? Got you covered. We got a hell of an injury guy over there. You want redraft? Boom. You want dynasty? There's multiple strategy shows. You want entertainment? Of course, we always bring you that, but go check that out for sure.
Yeah, man. I almost glazed over this one, and Ben, I apologize for missing these. That's just unacceptable on ATM's part.
I saw this trade earlier on my emails, and I threw up.
Yeah, so Mike, let's talk about it because he's asking for a friend. It's not for Ben personally.
It is for Ben.
We know.
Show yourself.
I'm also real quick before you answer this question. I noticed we have 2 thumbs down, and I appreciate those just as much as the thumbs up. If you gave us a thumb down, I would love to know why. And if it's because I'm wearing an Akers jersey, it's because I gave you bad advice, I'll accept it, and that's okay with me.
It's probably because I'm still wearing an Iowa hat, even though Iowa got embarrassed. Our offense is embarrassing. I don't know. Like, how could you do that? Listen, I never go anywhere. Let's just say that I'll probably be on my phone for most of the Iowa game just looking at other shit. Like, whatever. Fucking team sucks.
What do we think about this trade real quick? And then I want to get to T-Rock because I thought he was kidding and apparently he's serious.
I'd rather have Tua and Mac in a best ball.
Best ball, as deep as it is, I think I'm with you, man, because I think Tua's starting to show. I think if you stay tuned to Tua this year, like I think he's going to have a good year. I definitely understand the panic on Mac. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not concerned, but I'm not like – I don't think the panic level I think is too high. Like I think there's the point of like, let me get out of Mac right now. People are just want out, period, for whatever it is. I don't want to give Mac away. I'm not to that point yet. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong about other things. I get the upside of Burrow. I just honestly, man, I think this is a perfect example. I was told in start sit that since he's going to run away with this game, and not only did they not run away with it, division games are so different in the AFC North. I just want people to understand that. Pittsburgh came ready for that ass, and they had to beg, borrow, and steal just to get to OT, just to lose it.
Yep.
I think Burrow's good. I think he's good. I think he's overrated in fantasy by quite a bit. We've had conversations. We've been on that train. So is it Burrow over Tua still? Absolutely. But I think if it's 14 team, best ball, this is too much.
I'm good, man. Especially, I know where Ben's team is too. Like, he's not competing this year. Let's be honest. He's playing for the future. I don't know. Like, I'm not giving up 2 assets that are on their way up in ascension. You mentioned with Tua, Mac, again, like, we're looking forward to, like, what happens next year with Mac when they get him another weapon, when they, like Ray was saying, once they draft Jordan Addison, right? They do something like that. You get Mac Jones, Jordan Addison, and suddenly we feel 10 times different. And then from a value standpoint, I mean, you're looking at it's a best ball league, Adam, and you're giving up a first round, mid to back end first round pick. You're getting mid to back end first round pick in Joe Burrow for 2 guys who are probably going to end up going in the 3rd, 4th next year. I'm good. I'm good. I don't make those deals. So
yeah. I mean,
that's my honest opinion on it.
I get it though.
I didn't like it for you. I thought it was great for Brett, which I fucking hate because I got a bet with Brett. So it pissed me off all the way around. I saw that email and went, fuck. Why? Why would you do this to me, Ben?
Why, Ben? Why? T-Rock says the thumbs down were moms that were taken out to nice seafood dinners and were never called again. Okay. I hate to do that, T-Rock, but I get you. There was something I wanted to get to in here, and I fucking can't find it.
How about Deontay with the catch of the fucking year already in this week 1?
Oh, whew.
How about that? How about that's where we ended on?
How stupid was that catch? How stupid was that catch?
How stupid good is Deontay Johnson?
Mike,
he ain't gonna be shit without Ben.
Remember when people? You know what's funny about that? Like, I said this on Start Sit, and it's funny about that team, and it's funny about that player. Everyone's like, the Steelers are going to suck this year. They lost. Deontay in that team losing Ben, are you kidding me? We saw how bad he's been.
Yeah.
Like, remember, they were undefeated, and everybody and their mother knew, speaking of T-Rock's moms, knew that, like, this is a fluke. It's not sustainable. Big Ben's horrible.
Yeah.
He's been bad for 3 years at least.
Yeah.
So now Mitch or Kenny Pickett is going to be like a significant, like, we're panicked? Stop.
Ben has been horrible. Mitch was a little better than horrible, but still not good. Still Mitch Trubisky. That hasn't changed.
I'm not touting him as a significant upgrade.
I get
but
it,
it's like, let's it's more lateral than it is like, oh
you
my
will
gosh.
get a significant upgrade when they let Kenny Pickett play. Start KP. Let's go. Let's stop fucking around.
Factual.
Mitch ain't it. Mitch ain't it. Plus, T-Rock's gonna owe me a hat sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he said I didn't read it with the right inflection. I'm sorry, T-Rock. I appreciate the comment though, and T-Rock does at least he redeems himself. Deontay is my dude. You love to see it. Yeah, man. I think Deontay is one that might be still worth exploring if he's like someone you can buy. Speaking of buy lows, so
right, he only scored 12.5 points.
Yep, the shoulder concern. Oh. If you didn't watch the game, you didn't see the one-handed catch. You think that Mitch Trubisky, all that. Yeah, good one, Mike. Good call.
How do you like GP being out targeted by Chase Claypool? I thought Chase Claypool was dead and George Pickens was the next coming. Like,
I knew
maybe preseason is mostly bullshit, people. Maybe.
It's funny because this one's such a weird one for me because I was in on Pickens, so I was like, all right, the value's coming, like I like it, and now it's like, why do I have to do this? You guys are making me do this. Like, stop acting like preseason translate. We Royce Freeman. I mean, listen, I think Pickens is going to be fine long term, but if you bought Pickens and thought like this is my contending asset, you're an
Yeah.
idiot. You're an idiot.
Hey, I still like GP too, but people are getting crazy.
Right,
And
correct.
all I could think about was the ridiculous hype last year going on for one Terrace fucking Marshall, who the minute the season started got put on a milk carton, and we're still waiting to find out where he went. Has yet
T-Rock
to be
is
seen.
telling I shop at the toilet store. Real quick, Fields put up almost 15 points in a Category 9 hurricane.
There you go. 15 points in a Category 9 hurricane.
Oh, okay. Good one. First of all, it's probably not a buy low, and it's probably not realistic. I'll give you one that if there's a window, I'm buying Trey Lance off of that bullcrap. Yeah. Here we go. All right, T-Rock, redeem yourself all the way. Speaking of preseason BS, let's talk about Burkhead over Pierce. Dead. Yeah.
Hey,
I hope you sold him for a first. I hope you sold him for a first, man.
There were some of us out there trying to warn y'all. There were some of us out there trying to warn y'all. I wasn't letting it, and Rex Burkhead didn't get fucking cut, so you knew he was going to be a thing. But again, props to Rex Burkhead. Again, if he's out there floating on your waiver wire, you should pick him up.
Oh, yeah. In best ball especially, man.
100% in best ball. But he's going to be involved, and he's going to be a thorn in the fucking side of Dameon Pierce.
Last one, and we're getting out of here on this. Because this is... I think, Mike, I'm still overexposed only because like there's just nothing to do with Troutman.
I'm having a hard time let go, but let's just say when waivers run tomorrow, I will have reduced quite a few shares.
Yeah, man.
I still have a shit ton though. But
I'm not like
here's the thing. Troutman was dealing with an injury. I forget exactly what it was, but I was looking it up heading into it. And it wasn't a for sure thing that he was coming back. So maybe that was part of it, like easing into it. So I'm still holding out a little bit of hope, but I swear to God, Adam, if I don't see anything from him this week, it's gone. Like he's off my rosters piece. See ya. I'm done. Maybe if you do something later on, I'll pick you back up off of waivers, but you're just roster clogging the shit out of me right now. So like this will be the official end of Adam Troutman. He has this week for the final few shares that I have left. He's toast if he doesn't do something this week. Like he doesn't have an excuse now.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I might on a few when it's really long rosters. Like, and I'm looking at 36, 39 types, like the extreme lengths. I might give him till week 3 or week 4. But honestly, Mike, like I'm kind of right there in lockstep with you. Like you're this theory, this idea. It's like it's the CD Lamb, but it doesn't carry the value. Like you keep telling me that there's something to like, and there's just I don't have time to wait for you. I'm sorry, buddy. No. Like you're gone. No. So it's time to get off the pot if it doesn't happen, buddy. You know, pour some throne.
Hey, man, and I'm making these decisions on contending rosters that are best ball that are 35 to 40 deep rosters. And I'm looking at them going like, how many weeks can I afford you being a zero? Especially like it's not sexy on the waiver wire, but you're looking at guys out there like Greg Dortch or DeAndre Carter or the fucking the backup tight end in Denver. Like Will Dissly had a couple moments.
Oof.
Like these kind of guys who are floating around out there, and
I'm
like these dudes are just better than the zero that Adam Troutman inevitably is going to get me. So
right.
What the fuck am I doing here?
I think you know what? I hate to keep going deep in this, and we probably need to get out of here soon. But like, all right, let's just have the conversation because if it's a contending team, okay,
yes.
Because here's the other thing. Troutman, let's even say he has a little flourish. Like, let's say he has enough to make me keep him. 40 yards, 50 yards, flashes. Like, I think the reality of Troutman having trade value is so slim. I'm talking razor thin. Like, it is the stars align today. And even then, we're talking about minimal trade value.
Yeah.
So, like, you're waiting on what? Like, to your point, you can probably get someone that's gross in best ball that plugs in, gives you Troutman production-ish, maybe even better, and like you're just done with the headache of it.
Hypothetical though, Adam, like if we cut him now, and let's say in week 5, week 6, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't have to have blow up games, but he does enough. Like maybe 5 catches, 60 yards, right? And he's getting all the snaps.
Okay.
Like somebody already picked him up off of waivers. That's one. If you can't pick him up and he's already on somebody's team,
Okay.
but you can't tell me if you don't go and offer him a 23 third that they're not like, yeah, fuck yeah. Look at the one I just got over this dummy. Like, I picked this dude up off of waivers 3 weeks ago and I'm getting 23 third. Like, if you really believe and you're like, this is what I needed to see, I'm back in on Troutman, you can go fucking get him.
You can get him cheap. Go get him. Unless it's Mike or myself at that point, you can get him for a 23 third, you know? So, yeah, I'm with you, man. You're not gonna miss the buy window on Troutman because there's the window's gone basically.
Right, Dalton Schultz was tight end 3 on the year, and there's still buy windows for him. Right, there's still that ability. Oh, he's slow, and now Dax hurts and blah blah. Like people are sending me offers for my Schultz all over. It's like fuck out of here. Like I'm good, man. Like I'm good. You're not gonna give me what I want, so why are we even talking?
Man, T-Rock says $99 on
Stop it.
Mike, can you answer this question? I don't want to do this.
No, I want to tell everybody good night. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you so much. We'll be back again Tuesday night next week for another AMA. Check out our shit on Sunday. We're doing all kinds of shit on Sunday. And tomorrow or Thursday, probably Thursday before the game. If you're a fan of All 22, you want more, I will be doing the All 22 live stream. We do actually have scores and who won, who lost, how'd I do. Of course, I fucking killed it. But yeah, that's it. We appreciate you guys tapping in. We're out of here.
Love you, T-Rock. Love everybody. We appreciate y'all tapping in. We'll be back. Peace.